Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Frontrunners Racing League ARCA Series. We are here today at Nashville Superspeedway for 135 laps of the ARCA Series here today. We just got through qualifying. We have our starting order already determined, so fast forward to the race session. Looks like we are under the lights tonight. Got 11 drivers in the field here. Aiden Lucas is our points leader currently, I believe. Let me pull up the team points here right now. Yes, so Aiden Lucas has a 12-point lead right now over Michael Boyles. Caden and Peter, Jordan Nissen, Keegan Huey, all within 27 points of the leader right now. So still tight battles. 5 races into the season. A lot of races upcoming for people to kind of, make an impact and move up or down pretty quickly right now. So watching practice, everyone did seem a little bit loose. One person that was able to kind of tame that starting P1, Aiden Lucas, Michael Boyle starting on the outside of row 1. Both of these guys have a little bit of history. We'll see if we see something off the line. Row 2, we got Nicholas Moffitt and Abraham Kalufa. Both guys had great performances in the Daytona 500 this weekend. Just rough accidents late on. Row 3, we got Adam Boyles and Caden. Row 4, James Zangi and Charles Broderick. Charles is definitely someone to look out for here today. Last qualifying position goes to Jordan Nissen in P9, and then we do have Peter Stewart and Keegan not qualifying, starting at the end of the field here. So should be a good race here. Qualifying times were fairly spread out. I don't think people were able to kind of get down the lap that they wanted, being that it was in the afternoon. Hopefully with the lower track temps of the evening, people are able to find that grip a little bit more, just have a little bit more of a pack racing. The draft in these cars is pretty intense, so people are going to want to try to get out and find that clean air in the corners, but get the draft on the straights as we take the green here. Aiden Lucas crossing the line on the inside. We got Abraham Kalufa making a move on the outside. 3 wide exiting turn 2 down the back straight. Rows 2 and 3, 2 wide entering turn 3 to close out the first lap here. Doesn't look like we had too many incidents. Nothing worth taking a look at. Good first lap by everybody. A little battle here for P2. Moffitt looks to the inside of Abraham. Might be able to get it to stick. 3 wide in the row 3. Adam Boyle says we got 130 more laps. Let me get out of this right now and try again on the next lap here. Zayden starts making quite a gap. He's almost got a 1-second gap over P2 right now. Nicholas Moffitt. Abraham Caden, Boyles brothers, Keegan Huey, James Zangi, Peter Stewart, Jordan Nissen, Charles Broderick, your running order right now. Looks like everyone's playing together pretty nice right now. Got Michael Boyles looking to the inside of Caden. 3 wide, able to make it stick. Adam Boyles helps give him a little nudge. Maybe help him get it around a little bit, take some air off him. We got 2 wide coming down the back straight. Looks like the 97 rubs the wall just a little bit there. He's got one to his inside. 2 ahead battling for P3 right now. P1 and P2, you can see him ahead in the distance, pulling away a little bit. So we hop on top of his car here. A little bit of a late braking entry, able to make it stick. Forcing it too wide again with Adam Boyles. Abe gives a little bit of toe to each of them. Goes around the outside again. Not able to clear him. Still maintains the momentum. These two have been battling for about 3 laps now. Looks like James Zangi in the back here. Getting into it a little bit. Peter Stewart. Kagan Huey. Caden's looking inside. We got about 2 different 3-way battles right now for position. Jordan's taking his time, staying within the draft, but not getting too close to any of this in case something goes wrong. Caden getting a little loose on exit. Pulls up, blocks Boyles. Not giving anything easy. Hip checks Abe out of the way. Letting the second group of 3 catch back up. Meanwhile, P1 looks like he's about to roll through turn 3. Moffitt not too far behind. Boyles in third got out of that mess as well, but P4 on back is kind of fighting for the same position right now. We got about 6-7 cars here. So Adam Boyles makes a move to the inside. Can he clear him? It looks like he clears him. Caden gives him a little bit of a boost. Abe gets inside. A lot of people getting loose. Adam Boyles on the inside, able to keep it straight. Green flag. Abe pulls up into Jordan. A lot of contact, nothing too bad. Everyone keeps it straight. The race goes on. Aiden Lucas not affected by any of that. Michael Boyles looking inside Moffitt. I don't know if Moffitt's losing his tires or Michael Boyles is able to clear him and take P2. Pretty good move there. We'll head back to the mid of the field here. Got a little bit of a skerfuffle for P4 between the 97, 38, and 91 here. Maybe looking to get a little bit of a toe, try to get some momentum down the front straight on Jordan here as they cross the line. Got 124 laps to go. Meanwhile, Michael Boyles and Nick Moffitt battling for P2. Aiden's able to keep it, building that gap up a little bit. Over 2 seconds now between P1 and P2, and an additional 2 seconds between P4 and P3. Pack starting to spread out. 13 laps into this. So Adam Boyles looking high on Abe, able to get a better exit. See if he can finish it coming out of turn 4. Unable to clear, a little bit of momentum. Jordan Nissen hanging on, trying to grab as much of that momentum as he can. Maybe trying to give it a little back, a little payback to Abraham. I don't know if he realizes that it was kind of just a racing incident, getting hip checked. Everyone trying to avoid Adam Boyles spinning out initially. So Abraham blocks Jordan Nissen there. Nashville is one of those tracks where you really have to try to manage your throttles. Your car can unsettle fairly easily, and it's hard to kind of get it back underneath. As you can see, Jordan kind of getting a little sideways there, just under throttle. It's kind of about, once your tires get heated up and starts to get worn a little bit, it's kind of about just managing that push. Try not to get on the throttle too early, that you can start to get a little bit of downforce, get your throttle all the way to the floor. These long, low banked corners really test your patience. Looks like that gap with P1 and P2 hasn't changed much. Still just under 2.5 seconds. P4, P3, a little bit growing. Other than that, everyone's kind of content where they're hanging out right now. Hopefully we can get a little bit of action here. Looks like it's back in the field. James Zangi's able to get his tires cooled down from getting loose earlier. Looking inside of Jordan Nissen here. Unable to clear him. See if he can get a little bit of momentum coming down the back or the front straightaway. Does get him before the line. He's going to need another corner here to really finish the move. As Jordan Nissen gets a little bit more momentum. Able to get back ahead going into turn 3. See if he can make it stick on the outside. He's got the advantage. It looks like he's got him. It's a good defense there by Jordan Nissen. It's Kagan Huey battling Caden for P5 right now. Caden finishing up the last of the top 5. Who's going to get it? So they don't want to lose too much time battling each other if they want to catch back up to Peter. The gap between P3 and P4 has grown to 3.5 seconds. I wonder if something happened to Caden, or he fell back to P6. It's like our closest battle right now is back here for P9 between James and Jordan. About 3 laps later from when James tried to make a move, Jordan was able to defend quite successfully. He's got that gap up over a tenth and a half right now. James Zangi makes a little bit of contact off to the infield, off the inside wall. It does not look like there is a caution being thrown right now. He is back on track going around. Not looking good for James. But the race must go on. Nicholas Moffitt gets a little bit closer to the back of the 05 of Michael Boyles. That is unfortunate for James. Not sure what his max speed is. See 164 on entry. You see Charles is able to get 170, so he's costing about 6 miles an hour top speed. maybe 7 off of the leaders. As you can see ahead, Aiden can see the 40 and the 10 of Charles Broderick and James Zangi ahead. Racing to put him a lap down right now. Charles doing whatever he can to not go a lap down right now. This is the battle for P6. And then Boyle's looking inside of the 97 of Caden. Able to make it stick. Definitely covers it off. See if Caden can get a good exit here. A little bit loose. Try to grab some of that toe. As we were looking earlier, people are getting about 170. Caden's able to get, what, 172 in the toe. James and Charles are able to kind of suspend them getting caught right now, but it's kind of the inevitable that Aiden's going to catch up to them at some point pretty soon. Just try to stretch out the fuel tank, hope for a caution. James probably going to want to burn that fast repair whenever he gets in there. He's front end's pretty messed up currently. So you can see no front arrow. Charles is making the move on the inside. Aiden looking behind. Not quite sure what to do. The two lappers battling for P10 right now. He looks inside James. Lets Charles slip up the track. Makes a move on the inside. Charles gives him a lot of space. Kisses the wall maybe a little on his way by. It looks like we might have some people making some pit stops right now. Nope, there was just some sort of glitch going on. Charles and James now a lap down. Michael Boyles still a good 3.5 second gap to P1, so nothing there. Adam Boyles, the other Boyles, looking for P5 again. Him and Kagan have been going back and forth pretty much for the last 30 laps here, so makes look on his inside. Kind of pushes him up the track a little bit. Make him take the long way. Side by side entering turn 1. Coming on to the back stretch here. About their 4th or 5th lap in a row side by side. No contact maybe. Sliding up. Adam Bowles has to let off. Loads the front tires down. Unfortunately has to give up that position and also loses one to Caden as well. He must felt quite a bit of heat in his tires. Gets a lot better exit side by side again, so he's found someone else to dance with. James Zangi is still able to stay on track. He's now got P3 and P2 ahead of him as Moffitt's cut that lead down under half a second to P2. Taking good advantage of the toe down the back straightaway. Gingerly applying his throttle as he crosses the finish line. Trying to get a little bit of toe. Got about 167 there as his top speed on Back straight there. Or front straight. Maybe lost a 100th or two that lap. As they start to approach Charles as well. Might be able to stir it up. Kind of a wide track. They should be able to find room by. So Aiden Lucas got about a 4-second lead right now. Had a really clean run. Able to go down and hug that yellow line. Get back up. Just let the car slide up into the wall. You can hear a little bit of a kiss on the wall on the way by entering turn 3. Gets down and hugs that inside line. He's just out there running qualifying laps right now. He knows everyone's been burning through their fuel, battling for position. He's got nice taking care of tires out there and clean air the whole time. Car's nice and cool. Michael Boyle's here. You can see him really taking the throttle late into the corner. Doesn't get quite as low. Trying to maintain a little bit more speed. Putting a little bit more heat into his tires than Aiden is out in P1. Looking back at the P3 Moffitt here. It's Peter Stewart. Looks like Charles Barodric's coming into the pits. We got a caution on the field. Adam Boyles goes around. Looks like crossing the start-finish line. I don't know if that was a issue with pit entry or... Oh, James Zangy. Unfortunately, a wrong place, wrong time. James's car is quite beat up. He's not sure. Go inside, go outside. James gives him the outside. Looks like they're all clear here. Yeah. Not really sure what that was all about. He just forgot someone was there. Looks like James might drift up a little bit, but only a 1/10 of a lane. I think they just kind of weren't paying attention. Rough racing incident, but honestly, that's probably what James was looking for. He's able to get down pit lane, get a new front end on his car, get everything worked out. Should be good. You see, we got 2 people not on pit lane, trying to get their lap back, I believe. James Zangy gets off of pit road with a new car. And Boyle's got their repairs done. Jordan Nissen got his car all gassed up and ready to go. Charles gets his lucky dog, comes down pit lane. Slap on some tires possibly. Looks like he's got new tires coming on. We should be good to go. I believe Caden will unlap here after staying out. So He's able to unlap himself. We'll see. I believe James is the only car currently a lap down, which given his situation a few minutes ago is not that bad. He's got a bumper on his car. He's got 4 brand new tires on, full tank of gas. Fresh start, 41 laps in. We got a 95 lap shootout coming in. You go through the order on the restart. Aiden Michael Boyle starting P1, P2, just like we started the race with. Then we got Moffitt in the 33, 38 of Huey, 91 of Stewart, 91 of Abraham Kalufa in the outside. So you got Barney the Flagman here ready to go. Adam Boyles, Jordan Nissen starting row 8. 40 of Broderick, 97 of Gargiulo. And James Yang sitting out back as we take the green. 2x2 restart. Doesn't look like a whole lot of contact or anything. Pretty clean. Is in the back. Charles gets a little bit high. Maybe makes a little contact with Jordan. So that matte black paint scheme doesn't look like it's too scratched up. So we got a good battle for P1. Michael Boyle's trying to just stick his nose in there a little bit. Keep Aiden up the track. Gets a little bit of a later entry than Aiden here. Able to make it stick on the exit. Able to make the pass for P1. This is the first lead change that we have seen all race, and he is able to kind of make there be a little bit of a gap, hopefully blocking a little bit of air. Hopefully for him, not hopefully for us. We want a close battle here for P1. And see a lap after the corner, the gap is back down to where it was. Aiden is closing in. Tires are getting up to temp. Car's feeling good. Doesn't look to be forcing it too much. Maybe comfortable with where he's at. Again, we do have 90 laps to go. Now that they have crossed the line. Back in the pack, we got Nicholas Moffitt, Adam Boyles, both looking on inside of Peter Stewart. Adam Boyles unable to finish. Moves up. Finishes it off. Peter Stewart looks to defend P6 here. Unable to do it. Adam Boyles looks inside, side by side, hitting doors. Coming into the back straightaway. Peter Stewart, a little bit of momentum, able to push Adam Boyles after he got that side by side into P2. Coming in the front straight, Abraham gets a little bit loose, tags the wall. A little bit of damage to the front end, but car's still pointed straight, so good for him for saving that. We look up into the battle for P1. Aiden Lucas looking to make a move on Michael Boyles here. Not in a rush. Gets his toe, fakes an outside move, gets on the apron. Able to get a nose. Forcing it side by side through turn 1, turn 2. Able to keep it there. Compromises Michael Boyle's exit a little bit by staying right on him. Just unable to get close enough to complete the move. Have to fall back in line, get a little bit of a toe. Wait until the next next time around we can get a good run here. So you can see he's able to get a little bit lower, closer to that yellow line on turn 1 and turn 2 than Michael Boyles is. Even again here on turn 3, turn 4, almost touching that yellow line with his front left tire. Michael Boyles just giving him that little bit of an extra lane. Still lets him get that arrow on his front left and get turned. So he gets a little bit too turned there. Maybe not. Maybe just a good launch. As you can see, all he sees is Michael Boyles' bumper right now. There you go. Michael Boyles able to get down and kind of arrow block him a little bit more. Make Aiden work the wheel just a little bit more to keep that momentum going. Let's see, he's able to get the clean air. Boyles unable to come down. As he sticks his nose in there, gets a little bit loose, hip checks him out of the way. Aiden's going to reload, try again. We got a couple moves here. Nothing successful yet. As those two come on turn 4 into the front straightaway. As you can see, we got a good battle in the group behind, P3 through P6. Oh, within a second of each other as well. Look at Nicholas Moffat. I believe he made a move on the inside of Adam Boyles there to take P4. Falling back in line. So we ride along here with Aiden Lucas. Looks like Nicholas Moffat makes another move right behind. The caution is out. Not quite sure what that was caused by. Oh, it looks like Caden. Sees Abe and Caden were coming along the back straightaway here. Abe comes down. Unfortunately, Caden was also right there. Big move up into the wall. Abe should have a faster pair to get back in here, but you can see I'm not sure if Abe thought he was gonna, Caden was gonna go a little bit lower on entry there. It's kind of a rough situation. See his hood flapping in the wind there. Constant little reminder of, hey, let's go head into the pits here. Maybe we can get it to fly up for him, and good little ad for the Backmarkers racing team right there. You see the front right tire's not even turning. Just locked in place. Alright, so we got our second caution of the day. Oh, there we go. Now the tire's moving. Fell out of place. Team does quick work to get it repaired. Back on track. Speaking of good looking cars, 32 of Jordan Nissen. Looking good out there. Looks like we got 3 cars that stayed out. I believe come to the line here, Nicholas Moffat will end up being our leader. I believe him, Adam Boyles stayed out under yellow. We're able to take the front row over here on the restart with 80 to go. So row 3 and row 1 swap from our last restart. We got 33 of Moffitt, P1. 22 of Adam Boyles, P2. 20 of Lucas, P3. 05 of Michael Boyles, P4. We got Huey and Stewart sitting in row 3. Caden and Jordan, P7, P8. Avon Charles back in P9, P10. And James Zangy able to make his lap back. Him and Abe do not have faster pairs, but they are both back on the lead lap. That is in and of itself a victory. Alright, got 56 or 55 laps completed, about to finish 56 here. 80 laps to go once they cross the line. The green flag is out. Barney waving his arm like a wild man. No problems there. Nicholas Moffitt kind of gets off to a great restart by himself as Aiden looks inside the other Boyles. He is in a Boyles sandwich. Exiting turn 2, goes low, there's a Boyles, go high, there's a Boyles. So Adam Boyles able to keep his spot in P2. Michael Boyles looks inside Aiden. It's Kagan's looking to stay out of the mess ahead of him, but make a clean pass. Everyone's kind of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. You can see hanging out the back, single file ahead as we're on board Kagan here. Side by side ahead, you got Lucas on the number 20 orange on the left, Michael Boyles on the 05 on the right. As Kagan looks to send it inside. Reminder that the 20 is Kagan's teammate here, so he will, given an opportunity, maybe get a little bit of an extra push to his teammate ahead. And I guess no reminder that the Boyles, as Nicholas Moffitt and Adam Boyles get side by side, giving a little bit of momentum to Michael Boyles. And he doesn't help his teammate, as I was trying to say would happen. He instead gets Nicholas Moffitt a little bit of a sandwich as well. Another Boyles sandwich. And Lucas looks inside, gets into Nicholas Moffitt. Unfortunately, sends him across the infield as the yellow comes out. It's kind of just, I mean, we saw it happen live. Just a little bit of a sticky situation. A lot of cars in the same spot. As you can see here, this is middle of turn 1 and turn 2. We got 3 wide in the front for P1. Aiden Lucas getting a good run as all of these threes corners are compromised. I'm not sure why it says he's going 700 miles an hour. Moffitt already gets a little bit loose, losing his air, trying to stay off the outside wall. Aiden's trying to stay low, maybe make a little move on the inside once they get to the corner. Unfortunately, Nicholas Moffitt gets around. Doesn't look like he has too much damage. This is a view from the rear left. Doesn't look too banged up. So he locks it up, trying to come to a stop. Dang, just unfortunate. A little bit of contact there. You know, made the right move and stayed out. Stayed out in the last caution. Got the lead. Was in a good position. Yeah. Rough move there, but we're going to have a front row of Boyles here. This Adam Boyles will be restarting P1. Michael Boyles P2. Kagan Huey P3, Peter Stewart P4. The 97 of Caden, rounding out our top 5. Abraham's car, not a dent on it after getting that faster pair. Jordan Nissen given positions back, perhaps? Unsure if he had a... Oh no, he went through the pits, I believe, so he's given back these positions. Maybe going back down again, taking a little bit more fuel. No, he's come back up on the track. As we come around the backstretch here, take a look at our existing schedule currently. So next week we are off for President's Day. If you celebrate President's Day, happy President's Day in advance. Then we'll come back the following week with our all-star race. So I don't know if we're having any sort of special rules or stage cautions and stuff like that, but it will be a non-points race. Maybe a way to get some of the people who race in some of our other series out to try it out. But our next points race will be Dover on March 2nd as we come here to the line. Barney's getting ready to go. And he's waving the flag like crazy as Adam Boyles gets a good jump down the inside. As they cross the line, looks like the outside row might have had a little bit of an issue farther back in the pack. So look back too wide for P2s. Kagan looks inside Michael Boyles. That inside line not enough momentum to make it count. Caden makes a couple moves, gets a little bit of a run on Abraham. James looks to the inside. And both those guys are trying to take it a little bit easier. No faster pairs. Aiden Luke is right behind them, thinking the same thing. I don't know. He might already have used this faster pair or not. I'm not sure. Kind of gives a little nudge to James. Says, hey, I'm driving here. Watch where I'm going. Boyles brothers leading the field right now. Caden's about a half second back from the leader. As Peter Stewart and Caden start making a little bit of a move. We got a little bit of a bunch here coming up for P2. As they're all going to gain on P1 as well, so Aiden Lucas doing his best to make his way back up to the front. He's already got 2 positions on this restart, taking care of his tires. Might be able to make it to the end on fuel. I'm not quite sure what the fuel situation looks like right now. See, they're all single file rolling onto the back straightaway here. Aiden looks to the inside on Abraham. Abraham learned from last time to make sure that there's a little bit of room there. Looks like Aiden also gave him a little bit of that room he was looking for, trying to get a little bit of a run on the inside. Side by side entering turn 1. Still side by side in the back straightaway. It's Abraham. Sees the nose of Aiden Lucas's car. Still able to get the power down just a little bit easier on the outside. We got another side-by-side battle for P1 here. Adam Boyles makes a run on the outside, able to make it stick. I'm actually kidding. He was already there. So Michael Boyles made to dive to the inside, unable to make it stick. Does slow them down just enough to give some toe to the guys behind. Abraham unable to get into pit lane. Unsure if this is a planned pit. Looks like he's hanging low. James Zangy coming up behind him. Abraham, no contact, just a little bit too much heat. I'm not sure if he was actually given a flag on that either. That might have been a clean entry. Just a little bit sketchy as he's coming out of pit lane near the leaders here. As the leaders come by, you should see him on the inside of the track. Oh, as Adam Boyles and Michael Boyles both make a little bit of contact in the wall, pushing each other down the back straightaway, trying to get a little bit of space created between them and the rest of the field. And Lucas looking inside Peter Stewart here. 97 car is taking none of it. Blocks Peter Stewart, gets down. Ready to block Aiden as he comes by, but Aiden able to make the pass on Peter. Peter losing a little bit of momentum there, getting forced off his line. So Aiden Lucas looking inside his other teammate, Caden. Aiden, Caden, and Kagan, and ahead of them is they're also their teammates. So Lucas Huey Racing has a certain selection for their drivers, mostly based on phonetics. So if you can rhyme, you're good to go. The field kind of gets packed together. Still the front six. We'll ride along here with Aiden Lucas again. His teammate Kagan gets into the wall. Aiden just moves underneath, no problem. Able to get back into the hunt with the guys that he's been racing with for P1 all race today. Alright, so Michael Boyles looking to the inside. His brother Adam Boyles, 22s, gets a little bit high. Not sure if he's trying a different line, get a little bit more momentum. Move's not finished yet. But if they slows him down too much, Aiden's going to try to make a move on somebody. Make a move on everybody, I guess. Going 3 wide. Goes back to 2. Able to take a good chance at second place. Not much teamwork going on between the Boyles and trying to give each other a little bit of toe. Aiden Lucas had to use a little bit more tire trying to get back up to the front. He might have it taken care of just enough. So you can see Caden going side by side Kagan there for P4. Able to make that move stick. No worries there. Peter gets into the wall. Loses a little bit of his momentum. Got a little Boyles on Boyles action. Aiden losing P2 temporarily. Looks like they're getting it back coming into P3. If we had a counter for the amount of side-by-side laps out of the 78, I would bet these two are side-by-side for over 30 of them. No real contact. Just a lot of good battles. A lot of good setting some guy up 2-3 laps in advance, as it looks like James or Moffitt may have gotten into the wall just a little bit back there. As this battle for P2 continues, Michael Boyle stretches his lead out. We got 4/10 ahead of the rest of the group, even with the tow. Aiden looking inside. Side by side. Doesn't have quite the momentum on the back straightaway. Tries to get a little bit of side draft. Doesn't give up on the move just yet. Side by side coming to the line here. Caden wants a little bit of this action as well. Peter Stewart's coming into the action as well. Good three-way battle for P2 here. So Aiden gets a little bit of momentum on the inside line there. Able to just nose out ahead just a little going into P3 or turn 3. A little bit loose. Might be enough to slow him down. There's a little bit of that teamwork. Caden getting his nose in there, giving Aiden just a little bit of a push. Meanwhile, Michael Boyles continues to stretch his lead over a second now. Too wide going to turn 1, turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Caden getting a little impatient, looking inside, trying to help his teammate, saying, hey, finish the move so we can start catching back up. Michael Boyles, his lead just continues to grow. So we're getting close to 50 laps to go here. So Aiden comes up, doesn't realize his teammate's already there. A little bit of a slap, nothing bad. Still side by side, Aiden fighting the wheel pretty hard there. So you can see when you can hear it when they get behind someone, their tires aren't able to produce quite the amount of grip that they had outside of in fresh air. So Peter Stewart looking to the inside of Caden. Caden's getting a little bit loose. Peter Stewart able to make it cleanly. Moving up to P4. Aiden's able to clear Adam Boyles, and now they're getting back to single file, hoping they can start to close that gap to Michael Boyles, but he's off by himself right now. Coming up on, I believe that's Abraham Kalufa ahead after that pit lane mishap earlier. So you can see all the guys behind kind of trying to postpone their battles in order to include the leader. Not working out very well for them right now. So you go back in the field, see what's going on. James Zangy with Nicholas Moffitt in his sights. Keep an eye on that. We'll come back if it gets a little bit closer. Kagan not too far behind them. So you can see James and Nicholas off ahead. Charles Broderick and Jordan Nissen getting some laps in. Abraham, I think he's fighting something mean with this car right now. So you can see Michael Boyles approaching him, trying to put him a lap down as we got under 50 laps to go now. Looks like Jordan Nissen's pulling into the pits. Probably realizing lap down's coming soon. Get some fresh tires, get a fresh tank of gas. Probably can finish the race from here, I'm hoping. 48 laps seems about right. We got the other, so all three Basement Dwellers Racing team members Coming to the pits right now. Nicholas Moffitt riding the inside lane. James Zangy taking the actual lane you're supposed to take. Both of them in the pits. Michael Boyle's taking a look for potentially putting Abraham a lap down. With the size of track, you can see Jordan Nissen just getting off on the inside of the track there. Just went 2 laps down, so he's going to have to hope for an entire green flag run here in order to get his lap back. So Abraham gets to put 1 lap down there. Checking in on the rest of the top 5 here. Still battling out for P2. Nothing super intense going on. I see Adam Boyles gets a little bit loose here. Might want to get a little fuel, get a little bit more weight in the car. So Michael Boyle stays out. Rest of the top 5 stays out. Kagan stays out. See if Charles makes a look for pit lane. Nope. So looks like Jordan Nissen and Zangy and Moffitt the only ones to make it to pit lane yet. Abraham, I don't believe, has pit yet, so he would like to stay out and capitalize on his lucky dog without losing a spot. Peter Stewart here looking to make a move on P3. Closing that gap down quite a bit. Aiden Lucas pulling away from that second group. Michael Boyle's still over 1.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. I'm not sure. Maybe the basement dwellers were thinking about pitting a little bit early. They have enough fuel to make it to the end. As Adam Boyles kisses the wall a little bit, cutting on just a little bit of speed, but just enough to give Peter Stewart a run up to P3. Caden's back here taking a look as well. Kind of settling into this little lull period here. Caden is not settling in, able to make a little bit of a late rise up at the cutoff. No problem. Able to make it stick. Adam Boyles coming in to service his car, get a nice fresh tank of gas. We'll see if he gets right sides. Meanwhile, Michael Boyles coming around to the backstretch here. Peter Stewart and Aiden Lucas behind. Abraham's stuck in there as well. As Adam Boyles approaches the pits. See if he pops up. Looks like he's getting right. I'd assume he's not going to get more than that. So Aiden Lucas is able to take Michael Boyles' lead down to under 1 second. So getting a little bit sketchy here for Michael Boyles. A lot of race left. We got 40 laps left. Couple pit stops as well that are need to happen. So a lot of things can happen. Adam Boyles exiting pits right now, able to stay ahead of the rest of the basement dwellers, but definitely close that gap a little bit by pitting early. But now tire advantage will go to 22 of Adam Boyles, so he'll still pull ahead of the group as Aiden Lucas here Able to get within reach of Michael Boyles. They are coming up on their pit stops. We'll see if anyone takes. Nobody takes any. Takes a pit right there. Peter Stewart stays out. I believe Kagan. Nope, looks like nobody. Nope, so no more takers this lap. St. Lucas still kind of hanging out, not trying to force anything, hitting his marks. You see, he gets right down to the apex. Good momentum as Michael Boyles makes him take the high line there. You do have P4, Caden's coming in as well. Service his car. We'll stay up here with the leaders as they both kind of get a little bit loose. Aiden able to keep it under him just a little bit better. Able to get his nose in before turn 3. Michael Boyles making the decision. It looks like he's going to slow down and take a pit now. Maybe used all of his tires that he had. And why his lead kind of fell apart there. But they are back to even ground, so comes into pit. He will come out with just a little bit better tires. He will have a full tank of fuel. Aiden will have a shorter pit stop the longer that he stays out, as there's you will know how much fuel to get in. He looks like he's slowing down to come in, gets a little bit loose. Peter Stewart will take the lead here and lead a lap. Take that bonus point. Abraham is out with Peter right behind him. Still in that lucky dog position. Jordan Nissen is 2 laps down, right behind them as well. Looks like Michael Boyles getting his right side tires up to temp. As Kagan in P2 is right ahead of them. Adam Boyles behind. Looks like they're going to go for their signature Boyles sandwich move approaching into turn 1 here. And maybe not enough speed. Maybe there it is. And it is the Boyles sandwich. There's the third lunch special of the day. Able to pull it off and take over right now. P6, P7. As Peter Stewart comes in. Abraham Kalufa right behind him. Putting his lucky dog spot up for grabs. It's Kagan Huey and... No, Kagan has not pit yet, I don't believe, actually. If that's correct. I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. It doesn't look like he has pit. So the Boyles were not actually fighting for P1 there with the Boyles sandwich. They were fighting to unlap themselves. And Aiden Lucas is net P1 right now. He is not a lap down. So Kagan Huey trying to trap as many people down as he can. If he is able to stay out without coming in until the next caution, it will kind of flip the field as you see Caden unlaps himself, so he gets himself out of danger. Nicholas Moffitt coming up on him also wants to be out of danger. Interestingly enough, Peter Stewart is behind Nicholas Moffitt right now, so maybe he just had a little bit longer of a pit stop, or the undercut was that much more effective for James Moffitt pitting early. So Kagan approaches and decides not to pit, so he does have a good 26-second lead right now over P2. P2 is, what's this, coming into backstretch right now, so coming out of turn 2. As he is about, also coming out of turn 2, so he's almost just a little bit under a full lap behind P2 right now. A full lap ahead of P2, I should say. There's Charles Broderick and Jordan Nissen here battling for P9 right now. Peter Stewart looking to the outside of Moffitt, just like I was saying. He did come out behind, but tire advantage goes to Peter Stewart. As they're approaching the interim leader here, Peter Stewart looks to the inside. Kagan is going to be unable to pit. Doesn't look like he is interested in pitting anyways. Still staying out as slowly everyone kind of unlaps themselves, getting themselves into position to stay on the lead lap. Abraham could really use the one lap to get back. I think even if there is a caution, looks like those two are both kind of working together on the inside there. The 84 and 33 just to make that move as easily as possible, unlap themselves. So as Kagan gets a little bit wide there, decides not to pit again, gets into the wall. Could be a little bit of an issue if someone's on the inside of him when he looks to make a pit. Looks like Moffitt gets a good run here. See if he's able to finish this move. Has a lot of patience. Kagan stays low. Does not come in again. Moffitt looks to the inside. Still just unable to get the power down on exit. See, it takes a little bit of a wider line here. Maybe he can keep his momentum up on exit. Gets it there. Gets the toe. Still nothing to do. Gets a little bit shaky there in the dirty air. Kagan stays the inside. Does not take the pit again. So he is definitely going to be pushing us until he is out of fuel. I'm not sure what that length is, judging by everyone pitting 55 laps. Means I think the last restart was lap 80. So 120 something ish. Might be able to stretch it out to. Nicholas Moffitt's fine here. Caution comes out right now. He is the lucky dog, so he will get his lap back regardless. Looking back at James Zangy. He's not too far behind. We got about a straightaway behind the other two. As Moffitt looks again to make the move. Might be able to make it stick now. Still a little bit too cautious. Obviously, you don't want to take out the leader. Looks like Kagan's slowing down. See if he takes a pit. Nope, just doesn't like the side-by-side. Wants to be able to run his own line. No worries. Nicholas Moffitt gets his lap back onto the lead lap. James Zangy now is promoted to the lucky dog position. So Aiden Lucas should be our race leader if anything happens. This battle between him and Michael Boyles should be the battle for P2, as it closes the gap under a second. It's been going between 8/10 and just over a second for a while, so still quite a spread out field here. Kagan stretching his fuel out as far as he can. Lucas in the 20 in P2, 05 in P3, 22 in P4, got the 97 P5, 91 in P6. All those guys kind of within 4 or 5 seconds of each other. Next car on the lead lap is Nicholas Moffitt, as you can see. Kagan right behind him as he just unlapped himself. We got Abraham Kalufa here trying to make a move on the inside of Jordan Nissen, able to make it stick. Jordan Nissen, one of the early pitters. So his tires do have a little bit of age on them right now. So you can see Kagan kind of approaching the back end of those two. James Zangy is still working on unlapping himself as well. So you can see Charles Broderick hanging up there in the front with Adam Boyles, taking in you know, some of the lines that he might be seeing ahead of him, learn a little bit on when to hit the brakes, when to hit the throttle. So still hanging in there. He's hoping that James is able to unlap himself as well. James still has quite a gap ahead. I know Charles could really use that, getting his lap back as well through the lucky dog. I'm not sure. I believe once Kagan decides to pit, Charles will be in the lucky dog position. So Aiden Lucas is behind James Zangy by about a half a lap. So P1 after Kagan comes in and pits will be Aiden Lucas. P2 to Michael Boyles. See that gap? It was down to 0.8 a few laps ago. It looks like Kagan does decide to make a run down pit road finally. You see as Lucas past pit road entry here. Doesn't cross the line in first, but will cross the pit exit line in first. Kagan Huey will likely come out behind Nicholas Moffitt in P7. And with that, we went through an entire green flag pit run, even though I think Abraham had a pretty wild pit entry there for his pit. So all good. Good job to everyone for keeping it clean. As I say that, James Zangy is coasting along the infield, so we will go back in. We do have a caution now that did just get called. Oh, he went way across the infield. Looks like it's just kind of a self-spin. We'll hop inside. You can see his hands working the wheel in the bottom left there. Just gets a little bit loose. Hits the throttle across the infield. Luckily, no one on track. Able to get it around on track, but still just a little bit below the required pace limit, and race control decides to throw a caution. So with that, he goes a lap down. Charles Broderick, I believe, does get his lap back with the lucky dog once we come around here across the line. Pacing on the back straightaway right now. Fortunately for James there was not any contact made, so you can see the blue machine is still looking pretty fresh with that blue steel paint color there. So we do have some takers for pit lane. We got the top 4, 5, 6. Top 6 coming in. Other than Kagan, who just pit a few laps ago, and Charles will be unlapping himself. So unfortunately for the 32, 84, and 10, they will be maintaining their lap down status. But the number 40 of Charles Broderick, as I told you earlier, to keep an eye on. He is doing just as he is supposed to be doing for his team owner, and unlapping himself. Able to come down pit lane, fill up the tank, get a new set of tires on there. Good for Charles and the 40 crew. So we head back around to the front. Once they reset the lap timing here, Kagan and Aiden will be starting in the front row, and the Boyles brothers in the second row, which I believe is what we had last time. Might be my row 1 and 2 might have been flipped. Not sure. Pretty common battle that we have here with these front 2 rows, especially tonight. And then coming up to P5, P6, we got Peter Stewart, Nicholas Moffitt. Both of these guys have a chance, as we're slowly approaching 10 laps to go here. So I would keep an eye on everyone starting from row 3. I would say one of these is definitely going to get their nose in the mix for the lead here, as the top 4 will be fighting pretty aggressively if history repeats itself. There will be some good side-by-side bumper business up in the front. So looking further back in the field, looks like we got James Zangy able to hopefully get everything straightened out in his car coming through the pits. And then the 97 and 40 hanging out inside line extended there. So as we come in, we get the green flag here. Kagan gets a good little jump on the inside. Outside line, definitely a lot slower than the inside line there. Michael Boyles looking in the inside on turn 1. Aiden gets a good run on the outside, but Kagan's already there. So 38 able to stay there on the outside of row 1. We got side-by-side action pretty much all the way through the field. Adam Boyle's able to shut off Aiden there for P3. Michael Boyles looks like he's able to just stretch ahead of Kagan there. Kagan looks to the inside, not liking what he sees, stays behind. Hoping to get a little bit of tow, take the battle to the next lap. Kagan is on, it's only a few laps, but 2 or 3 lap older tires after making that long run last time out, and caution coming out a few laps after he came out, decided not to come back down pit lane, get the track position back. So good strategy by the 38. Lucas Huey Racing, number 38. As you see Lucas Huey Racing side by side for P2. Aiden unable to make that into a double pass there, but still gets a good exit coming off of turn 2. Side by side, heading down the back straightaway for the first 2 rows. Everyone else is kind of single filed out. So we get a little bit. Michael Boyle's coming down. Aiden Lucas not afraid to return the favor from Michigan the other night. Able to, give a little tire rubs, dent the doors up a little bit, make each other work for it. Good racing here in the front row, and there's Nicholas Moffitt with a good exit off of turn 2. Giving Adam Boyles a little bit of a shove, wants to get involved. Peter Stewart staying alive, making it 2-2. 2-2-2 all the way back from row 1 to row 3. Great racing here in the Front Runners Racing League, as always. They're still side by side for P1. Michael Boyles keeps him down on the track. We got 3 wide for P2. Nicholas Moffitt thinks better of it, gets out, gives a little bit of the push. Is Michael Boyles able to stretch out ahead, claiming the lead coming around here with 5 to go. 6 to go. Aiden Lucas looking to the inside, coming onto the back straightaway. Unable to get a run. Michael Boyles moves down just to say, hey, I'm not going to let you take the inside lane for me. So Aiden Lucas still able to get just a little bit lower onto the apex in both sides of the track right now. It's just that little bit of difference that if he can get onto the throttle, he's able to cut just a little bit of time off. Charles Broderick comes down pit lane. So Aiden Lucas looks to the inside, side by side, coming out of turn 2. able to get just the nose ahead. Michael Boyle's pinching him down to the inside of the track. Aiden not afraid. That's the line he's been running the whole time anyways, so able to maintain it. You can see Kagan able to take P3 away from Adam Boyles. Peter Stewart P5. Yeah, a lot of guys right at the front of the field. It's slowly starting to work its way back into single file as more and more people enter this battle. Kagan Huey gets a little bit of the wall using all the track. Able to get that little bit of momentum that he needs to get side by side Michael Boyles. A little bit of contact. Might be a little bit of a team move there. This is teammate Aiden Lucas stretches out ahead, but Kagan Huey does not take into account that Peter Stewart is here. It is time for Cinnadust. Peter Stewart, last year's champion, not afraid to get involved in this battle up at the front of the field for the final podium spot. Nicholas Moffitt's right there in P5. And James Zangy able to make a little bit of move up to P6, it looks like. Oh, he's still P8, actually. He's still a lap down, unfortunately. But he's up there fighting with these guys as well. Adam Boyles, looks like he must have had to come down pit lane. I'm not sure if he had an issue or what going on, but we are on the final lap coming to the checkered flag. Aiden Lucas, not much of a answer for him on this last run. Able to just kind of hold off the Boyles brothers. Able to take the checkered flag here. Michael Boyles looking inside, just not enough time. So Aiden Lucas able to take the victory. Michael Boyles P2, Peter Stewart P3, Kagan Huey P4, Nicholas Moffitt P5, rounding up your top 5. Caden Gardrillo 97 P6. Adam Boyles will have to go back and take a look. Not sure what happened as he finishes the race just now. P7, rounding out your finishers on the lead lap. And a big wreck as his brakes do not work. James Zangy P10 or P8, the number 10 machine, first one off the lead lap. Him, Abraham Kluifa, Jordan Nissen, Charles also all had a little bit of a rough battle there. So just a good race overall. Definitely fun to watch. Couple close calls there in the middle, but overall just some front runners racing that we see every week. Good hard-nosed finishing. Everyone's kind of figuring out how everyone's riding with each other, so it's a good time to take a break, get a week off. Everyone gets to spend a little bit of time in the shop. Then we come back the following week with the All-Star race. Hopefully get a couple of the other racers from the other disciplines out there. And then come back with our regular points schedule with week 6 at Dover, and then to our second road course of the year with the Indianapolis infield. We did run that course in the trucks before and had a pretty good race, so I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle in the ARCA cars. And then IRP for another short track race. But it does look like we have we're able to get comms with our top 3 finishers. So we'll bring in our P3 finisher here, Peter Stewart. Good finish in there at the end. You started the restart, P6, P7. I think it was P6. You and Moffitt were side by side. So I told him, take a look. One of these guys is going to stick their nose in. So how'd you get it done? How'd you get up to the top three at the end there?
Because they were, I guess they had to kind of like bog down a little bit to hit the apex. But I
Yeah,
won't
and what
complain.
was were the tire wear pretty noticeable? The change from practice and qualifying to the nighttime during the race.
Oh, 100%. I ran 5 laps in practice and the tires were down to like 90. So I was really worried about it before the race. And then the night conditions must have just like made the tire condition a lot better because what was the longest run we did? Like 40 or 50 laps?
Yeah, I think it was probably the third stint there was probably about 40 laps. We went through an entire green flag cycle with no issues. So definitely kudos to the team for being able to just make it through that. And um, yeah, it didn't seem like tires were too much of a problem these second stints. Um, I guess you kind of pushed it a little bit as well. You were one of the last cars to pit, so I'm not sure if that just lined it up well
Yeah.
where you kind of had that advantage towards the end as well.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of shooting for, but like right before the pit cycle started, we were only losing like maybe 4 to 5 tenths like off my best lap. So like the tire wear wasn't like I didn't think I could pit too early and then make it up if something happened. So I waited as long as I could, but then when Aiden and Michael pit, I felt like I had no choice.
Yeah, it did seem like the undercut was working pretty well for some of the guys who pit early, but once the leaders kind of came in and flipped that cycle, it was pretty easy battles for them to pass some of the early pitters. So definitely a good strategy call there.
Yeah, it's nice when it works out. I think I got helped a little bit by was it Abe that caused the last caution? But
I believe it was
that was
James.
well timed for me. Okay, yeah, that was well timed for me.
Yeah, James got a little bit loose coming out of three and or coming out of four and got a loose across the infield. So and it was a definitely a good help for a lot of the field as well. It kind of having those long runs definitely spread everyone out and um,
Yeah,
having to restart with 15 to go and then another one with right at the end there. So any thoughts on the upcoming schedule? We do have a week off. Got the All Star race at Texas, and then back to Dover Indy Road Course IRP. So four very different tracks on the schedule coming up.
yeah, it should be good. I mean, Aiden's quick everywhere, so there's not really much I can do about that. But um, I like that Michael's giving him a run for his money now. So
Yeah, I think we probably had 4 or 5 different times in the race where the person who was leading the race wasn't the fastest car on track. So it's definitely nice to have the Boyles, Lucas, Huey, Moffat's up there, kind of all fighting for that championship.
yeah, I thought it was pretty cool when we were near the end there, where it was like the top six were all doubles, like two by two,
Mm-hmm.
going for position. I'm like, this can either end really badly or it's going to be amazing.
And it was a really good finish. It was definitely fun to see. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I want to thank you for giving up racing to do the broadcast because I think you do a good job and I like watching it back. And it's not easy giving up the racing to do it, so I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of fun doing it. Definitely want to get it back on the track. I'm hoping Checker Crown starts up again here in a few weeks. But yeah, enjoying my time up here in the booth.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
killing it so far from what I've seen.
Yeah, you're killing out there. Good P3 today. We will see you in 2 weeks at the All Star race.
Sounds good.
All right, and that was P3 finisher Peter Stewart, last year's champion. Still just unable to find that top of the podium. We got the 05 of Michael Boyles. We'll bring him in here. Michael Boyles, P2 finished today. Had a lot of chance to fight for the P1 spot. What are your thoughts on coming out second?
Not very good. It's hard to finish second, but Aiden's just that guy. He's really quick. It was a good race. Good battles. It seemed like a lot of people were getting in the mix there, especially when the cautions were coming out. But it was a lot of fun. I really needed cautions to save me from at least like staying close to Aiden, and I only was able to do good on restarts, and then sure enough, Aiden would get right back by me. So I Nashville's not my favorite track, but hey, we'll take a second place any day. Even though it doesn't feel the best in the world, but that's all right. It was still fun.
Do you wish that you had a little bit more help from your teammate there? It looked like a few times he had a chance to kind of give you the bump on the outside coming across the start finish line, and he would dive down to the inside. And then I noticed you were doing kind of the same thing to him as well. Is there a little bit of tension within the team right now?
Oh no, not at all. There was a few times where he was actually helping me out, and yeah, no, I didn't even notice anything. Like both of us know we want to race hard and go for the win. And on the pit stop, he actually let me by. Like he let me by because he knew I was a little bit faster, and he let me go chase Aiden down, which I couldn't do, but he still let me by. No, I honestly like. I thought he was helping me out, and he was. So I mean, just the little things where we're racing each other, like that's just we don't have really team orders like that unless like one of us wants to give it because we know like which one's faster or not. But no, it was yeah, nothing bad at all.
Did you have any issues with lap traffic? I believe you had a little bit of a lead, or maybe we're trying to close that gap. Kind of having to work around a few people. Did that cause any issues?
Not really, honestly. I was just bad. I was just not good tonight. And really, to be honest, a lot of them like got out of my way too. Like, the per chance that a lap car was like slowing me down at all, it wouldn't have changed much. I was definitely the slower car tonight. So, like I said, the cautions were my saving grace out there on the racetrack. I couldn't do anything else speed wise. I knew I had good short run speed, but then sure enough, like Aiden could get to like after 10, 15 laps, Aiden would start chasing me down again. And then when Aiden would start catching up to me, I would start pushing more, and then I would run up the racetrack, lose more time. It was just I hate this racetrack. But,
yeah, it definitely was. You could tell when the way that your line would change as Aiden started to approach. Aiden was able to kind of keep that front left on that yellow line the whole time, and over a course of 3 or 4 laps, just looking at your two lines, you'd slowly start walking up, and then it would be a side by side battle for. I think at one point we had 5 straight laps where one of you was taking a different line through the corner. So it was definitely a fun little battle to watch. We do have next week off, coming back to the All-Star race at Texas. And then next points races at Dover. Any thoughts on Texas or Dover?
Texas, both tracks I'm a little iffy on. I have one at Dover, in back markers. But I don't know about Texas, honestly. At least it's not as tight as Nashville. Let's just say that. I love a loose race car. I love a loose racetrack.
A little bit more
Nashville's
banking.
not one of them. Yeah, I need some banking in my life.
We'll definitely get that at
or I
Dover
need a
once we
short
get
track.
there. So, and then yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
absolutely.
week
So I
7
mean,
after Dover, we're going
yeah.
to Indianapolis Road Course, which isn't a short track, but staying in town for IRP on the 16th. So, I think that's our next short track,
Absolutely.
Kern County coming up. So,
Okay.
definitely a lot of good
Yeah,
tracks
I'm
coming up. I
excited for
think,
Indianapolis too.
yeah, no, Indianapolis Road Course. I think that's definitely underrated. I don't believe we've ran that with this group of guys yet in a stock car. We did run a race there in the Checkered Crown. Yeah, IRP or Indianapolis Road Course is definitely one of those kind of mystery courses.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fun. I mean, thank the Lord, I've done a few races there. I mean, maybe not with ARCA, but definitely GT3 stuff. I do like it, but there's no telling. Aiden's quick there too. I just
Yep.
gotta take points wherever I can get them, and I think I could get points, good points there at IRP and some other tracks. It's just the tight race tracks, man. I am bamboozled by those racetracks. So I'm excited to go to somewhere else next week or the next few weeks. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, it would be good. It'd be a little change it up. Get back onto some high banks. Get that speed going again. Get the toe. A nice line of cars in the draft as well. So, anybody that you want to shout out?
Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Couldn't do anything without him. Just having fun here. Obviously you for the broadcast. You're what makes it fun. Having commentators. That love watching, that enjoy it. That I'm sure they want to be out on the racetrack too. Just joining us in the battle too. So we appreciate the sacrifice there. To front runners. Not the grid finder. And, and to my brother, the Impact Racing Jackson, Peter, Moffitt, Charles, just Abe, all those guys. I really appreciate them. I appreciate everybody, that races with us, everybody that watches. Just thanks to all of them.
Definitely, yeah. It was definitely a fun race to watch. You take care. We will see you in 2 weeks, maybe up on the podium if you can get it done during the All-Star race.
Sounds good. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Michael Bullis, P2, and we'll try to get the number 20 car, Aiden Lucas. Congrats on the podium. First person to get 2 wins this season. What led you to victory today?
Getting lucky on that last restart. I finally figured out how to pass on the bottom. It was a struggle all race, and finally figured out the key to that with those last 13 laps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looked like you were able to keep the car pretty low on the corners the whole time. It looked like it was just having someone on the outside kind of compromising your exit, unable to get the power laid down on the straights.
Yeah, Michael's he loves riding doors, so whenever you have to pass him on the bottom, especially at a 1-lane track like Nashville, it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to control the car. It was definitely fun watching you, both the Boyles. Kagan was in there quite a bit as well. Just kind of swapping positions side by side. At one point, we had the first 3 lanes side by side for 2-3 laps there on that last restart. So definitely a lot of good pack racing. A lot of tire issues in practice and qualifying that didn't seem to make their way during the race with the colder temps on the track. What made your decision on that last run? It looked like Kagan stayed out 10 laps longer than you guys. What brought you in to the pits on that?
Michael. I didn't want to give him that kind of advantage on that tire run. Kagan got super lucky when the caution came out.
Mm-hmm.
He had just pit down pit road. and was able to restart and control. It kind of almost screwed me at the end, but like I was saying, figured out how to pass on the bottom. But there was a run in the middle of the race where tires actually really mattered. It was pretty slick out there. I caught Boyles by like 2 seconds, and I get up to him and he's sliding the back end around. You would have thought he was on the dirt track. It was honestly pretty fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. It was kind of just who could lay down that power without getting a little bit too loose. I guess, did you notice any difference between, like, I guess you were saying it was kind of hard to pass on the inside. Was that just due to grip or just space on the track?
A mix of both, I would say. Like, you could get the grip, like what I found out later, you can just drive it way deep in there, try and almost clear. If you can clear them on entry, you can just throttle down. There was enough grip on the track if you were able to drive it straight. But it's just one lane, man. And
Yeah.
like the track's so flat, it doesn't lend itself to good racing.
Well, we definitely had a very good last 15 laps, that last sequence. Definitely fun to watch. I guess I'm assuming everyone took 2 tires in their green flag stop. Some of the early guys seemed to kind of get worn out there. Yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch. Any thoughts on the upcoming schedule? We got All-Star race at Texas, and then coming back to Dover with kind of the complete opposite of what we had today. Nice banked tracks on the straights and the corners. And then Indianapolis Road Course, which I know you've got quite a bit of time there, Victory and Checkered Crown. Any thoughts on Texas, Dover, Indianapolis?
Yeah, looking forward to Texas. A lot of people hate it. It's one of my favorite tracks. Dover, I'm kind of all right at. I enjoy trying to go there and trying to figure it out, but those concrete tracks are pretty hard. And then those 2 Indianapolis races, Indy Road and then IRP, I'm hopefully going to be pretty good at the road courses. Had to fight tooth and nail with Boyles earlier. And then IRP, you never know, that track's so wide and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm excited to call IRP. I think it's going to be probably one of our best shows of the season. So hopefully everyone who's watching right now stays involved and follows the season. You came in as points leader, got a win, extending that lead over Michael Boyles. Let's see, he was 12 behind last week, so it's probably about, 16, 17 points behind. You think you can hold him off the rest of the year?
That's going to be the goal. He's definitely a tough opponent, and we'll be doing everything we can to win as much as we can, because only one person gets max points.
That is definitely true. Well, it's definitely been fun to watch. Great job today. Congrats on the victory. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Shout out all the Frontrunners admins, you especially for broadcasting. Unfortunate Tyler issues, but thanks LHR guys, and go Blobs.
Go Blobs. Thank you, and congrats on the victory. We will probably talk to you at some point in the next upcoming races.
Yep, see you next time.
All right, good luck this season. And there you have it, our race winner, Aiden Lucas, number 20. Checkered Crown Challenge, current crown holder as well. Definitely one of our better racers out here. And we will look at posting the updated season standings shortly. I'm imagining that the top 3 will remain the same of Aiden Lucas, Michael Boyles, and Caden, who I believe finished P4. Peter Stewart right behind him in P4 in standings will likely stay the same. Jordan Nissen not a great showing today, unfortunately. P10. And Kagan Huey should make that jump ahead of him as well. So, all right, and that about wraps up all we got here today. A lot of good action here at Nashville. Next week we are off, but we will be back that following Monday night for more Frontrunners Racing League action. Please just have a great off week next week. We may be doing some sort of fun run, so stay tuned if we can get that streamed. Otherwise, see you all in 2 weeks in